Maybe somebody will come up and tell you what your talent or your gift is. God put us all here for a particular reason. Why are you here? Why are you here this morning? Because you came to see that nut preacher. Well, if you came to see that nut preacher, well, whoo! Who said amen? Don't think for a minute that you're not worth something in God's Word because you are. It's almost like a bicycle wheel. You know what happens whenever you lose a spoke or you break a spoke or two? You know what happens to that wheel? You know, usually the spokes, when they tighten up, and when they're tight, the wheel runs really smooth, but you break a spoke or two, and what happens? The wheel's out of balance. It goes wop, 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 wop. Doesn't it? I don't want this church going wop, 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 wop. And God doesn't want any church going wop, 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 wop. God needs all of us to accomplish the goal that we set out to do. That goal, of course, is to get to heaven and to help as many people as we possibly can. 1 Corinthians chapter 12 reminds us that we are one body with many members. If all the parts are not working in the body does not function properly. What if 80% of your car decided to quit working? 80% of your car. What if it decided to quit working? You're not going to go anywhere. By instinct, geese share the workload among all the geese, as a church should do the same thing. The third point that I want to make is that geese illustrate the concept of encouragement. The concept of encouragement. Have you ever heard a flock of geese flying overhead? What do they do? What kind of sound do they make? How do you like that for a goose? Tracy's Christmas goose. They honk. Do you honk? Do you think they honk simply because they like to honk? Huh? How many of you honk because you like to honk? How many of you honk out on the highway whenever you come up behind somebody slow or really driving kind of stupid and you start honking your horn? There's a reason as to why geese honk. Researchers tell us that geese honk from behind to encourage those up front to keep up their speed. What do we say when we honk from behind? Get out of the road! Honk, honk! Get out of the road! I'm going somewhere in a hurry. I've got to go pick potatoes. Come on. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 11 says, "Therefore encourage one another, build one another up, just as you also are doing." Hebrews 3:13, "But encourage one another day after day, as long as called today, lest any of you be hardened by the deceitfulness of sin." So more times than not, the noise that we hear from behind people who are working is not the voice of encouragement, but instead the voice of criticism a lot of times. Criticism can hurt. Criticism can stifle the work of the church. Criticism can stifle the growth of a church. It can stifle an individual. When we nitpick and when we criticize one another for things, that hurts the church. And so we're to get behind these ones and start honking. Encourage one another to do their part. These geese are trying to encourage one another as they are on a long journey south. And as Christians, we should do the same thing. You and I are on a long journey to heaven, and we need all the encouragement that each of us can get. We don't need someone sitting back and saying, "Well, I don't like this, and I don't like that. We've never done it like this before." Oh, hogwash. go to church anywhere. Again, I say, oh, alone. Finally, geese illustrate the concept of sharing burdens with one another. This is the concept that I feel that is needed within the church, and the concept of sharing one another's burdens. That's important. Did you know that when a goose gets sick or is wounded by gunfire or whatever reason falls out, 2 other geese fall out of formation and follow it down to protect it? They stay with the goose. They stay with the goose until it's either able to fly again or it's dead. And then they launch out on their own or with another formation to catch up with their group. Galatians 6:2 tells us, bear one another's burdens and thereby fulfill the law of Christ. Romans 15:1 says, now we who are strong ought to bear the weaknesses of those without strength and not just please ourselves. So if you and I have the sense of a goose, we will stand by each other like that. People need to know that when they need someone, they have a brother or sister in Christ that can reach out and go to them. And we all need encouragement, do we not, in our lives? Yes, we do. Too many times we shoot the brother or sister who stumbles. But we need to stay with them until they heal. There are many things that we can learn from God's creation. The concepts that we can learn from watching geese are concepts that can help make the church grow stronger. And if it's ever a day that you and I live in, the church needs to be strong. Because what's happening is you have a lot of outside things coming into the church. What's his name? Dallas Ford, a charge conference, preached a sermon about outside. Is it outside in or inside out? Outside in is that the concept is that the church takes the outside concepts and brings them into the church. But we need to be the other way. Inside out. We need to take the concept of the church and Jesus Christ outside these 4 walls. So I'm hoping and I'm praying that St. John's is an inside-out church, not an outside-in church. And that we need to encourage one another in all that as we grow and as we journey together. And I hope that as a church that you and I will fly together in formation. That we can all share the workload of the church. And that when we begin to honk at one another from behind, that we encourage one another, it is to encourage that we will share others' burdens. If the community knows that is the way that this church operates, people will flock to St. John's. If people know that we're working together, we carry one another's burdens, and we fellowship, and we do the things, and we're inside-out church, people are going to flock to St. John's.
Why do you do it?
Because we've got something that maybe the outside world doesn't have, and that they need. And we do have something that the outside world needs, and that's Jesus Christ. Amen? They need that stuff. And without you and I, they're not going to be able to find it. We can just have a great big old birthday party. Invite all the people to a birthday party. Just have a party. It's a party. How many of you like partying? Don't answer that. You know, you talk to different people. Oh, I was out partying. Oh, I really had a good time. Oh, yeah, you had a good time. I spent the whole week over in the road. You know something? I believe Mr. Alkire, the church can have a party too. The church can have a party all the time. When you stop to think about it. How many of you don't like parties? If you don't like parties, then get out. Because we're going to start having parties, Cecil. I said, who's Cecil? I love it, don't you? I call you Cecil. This name's Craig. I call you Cecil. I love it. I'm having a good time. I'm having a party, Charlie. Give me 5. No, you're too slow. We need to be a church at St. John's. Again, when people look at us, when people look at this church, they'll want what we've got, and they'll start humping too. Like this.